We're going to try this one more time. I should have the echoing issue with the microphone fixed. I should have the you can't hear my voice over the game audio stuff fixed. I'm sure I'll discover some other nasty thing, but in the interim, let's go ahead and do our next abduction mission. So this is on a urban large structure map, which basically means we want to take a good mix of rifled class weapons and also maybe a couple of shotguns. So we're going to take we will take both Meganay and Acrotic Method. Meganay is going to go armed with a shotgun. And all the grenades in the universe. And Acrotic Method is going to go out with a submachine gun and an extra couple of rockets. The difference between the standard rocket, which just does damage, and a shredder rocket is that a shredder rocket hits stuff the same way that AP grenades do, meaning that if you are behind cover relative to where the detonation happens, you will take no damage. So it's great against robotic units, which can't take cover. And it also softens things up so they take more damage thereafter. That's helpful given that the rest of our fleshy soldiers are going to be shooting solely SMGs for the time being. So our next 4 rookies out of the chute are Crazy Ahmed, and Zalada. Zalada has good aim. And Epichol. And lastly, Max Caliber. None of them have particularly impressive stats. I guess we'll just give the motion tracker to the one with the highest hit points, which is... Wow, they all suck. Alright, so Zalada, you get the motion tracker. Congratulations. And away we go. There's really not a whole lot to these early missions. You're either going to be fighting sectoids or drones, and you will just do any means possible to blow them up. Sure, it's nice to have corpses, but if your aim is this low, it's actually better long-term to have high-level soldiers that actually can hit stuff with ballistics, so we will kill them by any means possible. So this is a fairly difficult map because if you end up stuck in this fountain courtyard, there's not a lot of good cover, and there's a chance of getting enemies spawned in this building as well as this building over here. And this building in itself does not have a lot of good cover. There's a lot of cubicle walls which are half cover and also melt at the sight of plasma. The game at least didn't put us all the way over here, where we would have had to cross through this sort of open area before we could hit high cover areas. So that's one small blessing. And there's a pack of aliens right here. So we're going to move up Acrotic Method. So what we're going to do here, you can see with the Acrotic Method, who's already used one of her 2 limited actions this turn, that she can't fire the rocket terribly far, and it also has this 4.5 scatter, which gets slightly lower the closer it is to her. The issue being that where I'm trying to detonate this, unlike grenades, where it will detonate precisely where I expect it to, it has a 4.5 tile radius as essentially 1 standard deviation. So I might be aiming here, but really God knows where it's going to go. Her aim will be massively improved if she has 2 full actions. It will also be further improved if she steadies her weapon. So that's what we're going to do, and we're going to hope that we can just launch a grenade right around here and blow up those aliens. And by grenade, I mean rocket. Everybody else will overwatch, and let's see what we get. So nothing, unfortunately. So we're going to move Zalata up into this half cover right here and piss the aliens off. So they've clustered up. Now the question becomes, can we hit them from that distance with a rocket? And the answer is not really, but we're going to try it anyway because, damn it, this was our strategy. And it's entirely possible the 2.7 tile scatters backwards rather than forwards. Alright, not quite what I hoped for, but that could have gone worse, I suppose. We've also set the car on fire, meaning that the sectoid needs to move. Doesn't do us a whole lot of good because we can't get that many units in range, unfortunately. So we'll overwatch with both these units here and hope that we can pop that sectoid as he tries to get away from the car that's going to explode. And we also hear some drones on the map, so it's a good thing we brought that shredder rocket. Well, he's going to die. Foolish, foolish sectoid. Well, that's a shame. Alright, so this mission has now become a race against time, essentially. If we don't, in the next 2, maybe 3 turns, manage to stabilize our downed unit, we will have our first casualty of the campaign. Condolences to Epicol. So we're going to go hard now. So one nice thing about engineers is that they have a higher throw radius than any other class in the game. As a result, I can kill this sectoid with a grenade, whereas I couldn't do it with anybody else. Or I can do a largely useless 2 damage to him, because, you know, that's cool too, I guess. Necrotic Method will move up to high cover in hopes of launching a grenade next turn. This is incredibly dangerous, but hey, we're going to try and save a life here. And we see melt somewhere. But where? Who knows? Alright, Mass Caliber is going to claim this sectoid. And Crazy Achmed's going to dash all the way up into this high cover. Oh, there's the meld. That's not helpful. Alright, Mass Caliber is paying for being aggressive with that grenade. Surely they won't hit 4 consecutive 30% shots, though, right? Apparently they will. Alright. Zalata does not have a way of hitting anything, because I burned the grenade already. So we're going to launch this rocket right here. Beautiful. Crazy Achmed will move forward. We'll probably trigger the pot of drones. And that's fine. We can target everything with this grenade. 4 kills in a turn. Zalata will charge up. I don't know. Oh, Zalata can't actually do anything useful. That's right. But Max Caliber can. Take revenge, Max. Alright, so despite the fact we had a downed troop and we, I think, get 0 corpses for the mission, nobody actually is dead. If you have a bleed out timer when the mission ends, I guess you magically get resuscitated. So 3 nasty wounds during that battle, but no deaths, and I will take that. Even got promotions for almost everybody. So Crazy Ahmed is going to become a sniper. Zelada, who we're not going to see much of for almost another month, is going to become a gunner. And Max Caliber will become... God, that hit point total is just awful. Another sniper. I guess there's only 1 meld canister on the entire map, but damn it, we got it. 0 corpses for the mission. And hey, we got 90 bucks out of it. And we have the motion tracker damaged. So that is one of the downsides of Long War. It adds a damage mechanic. As soon as a soldier takes an injury, meaning that he has more HP damage than armor, all of the items that are equipped have a chance to become damaged. They can be repaired, but repairing requires a repair bay, and we don't have one right now, nor can we really afford to build one. We do, however, have a second motion tracker, which is why I built 2 in the first place, so not the end of the world. Alright, so we're going to keep pushing and spinning a little globe. And we have our first power generator, which is really all we're going to need for a little while yet. Actually, a good while. In fact, because we are almost certainly going to need... Gosh, I have nothing to actually sell because I've been blowing everything up. So we're going to sell $20 worth of items, or 20 space dollars, whatever this is, worth of items, so we can buy another interceptor. The problem being that we are a third of the way through the month, and we've not gotten any UFO contacts yet. We're guaranteed to get 3 of them in the first month, and that means that all 3 of them are going to come within the next 20 days. I want to be able to respond to all of them, and I also don't want to have too many interceptors that can't fight in April when things start to get really hairy. So we're going to go ahead and order one right now. Hopefully in 3 days we're ready to rock. You'll spend most of your money in early Long War on planes. All right, let's keep going. Okay, so the other aspect of Long War. You will lose some country, not from your starting continent, at random in the first month. There is nothing you can do about it. It is a plot scripted event. Basically, when the alien resources get to a certain level, they will automatically infiltrate a country with a ship that you can't see by standard satellites. You don't have the technology to see it until much later, and the technology to actually shoot it down until much, much later in the campaign. If you're doing well, this is the only time you'll actually see a country leave without you having sort of any recourse to do anything about it. But we'll eventually get Brazil back as part of the plot. We'll launch an alien base assault, probably in Brazil first. If the aliens have other bases by then we'll launch multiple alien base assaults, which is also different from vanilla. You do this by building a satellite over that country, building a skeleton key, which you build from outsider shards and some other materials. And you launch a base assault, which is incredibly dangerous, but gives you a lot of resources, sets the aliens back quite a bit, and so on. I suppose this would also be a good time to mention that there's a handful of resources off screen. Just as we have space bucks and alloys, Illyrium, meld, and weapon fragments, The aliens have alien resources and they have alien research. Alien resources, you can sort of see a passive indicator of this based off of how much meld is appearing in canisters on any given map. Um, the more resources aliens have, the more missions they can run, and the missions they run will tend to be research missions to try and improve their technology, the types of units they can field, all of that good stuff. Aliens with lots of resources will do stuff like this, just steal countries from you at the drop of a hat. The way that you can reduce alien resources is by shooting down their UFOs. Separate to that, you have alien research. Alien research is essentially just as we're researching new technologies, they are researching new technologies. Whereas our technologies takes the form of armor and guns and nifty items, their technologies tend to take the form of additional units or more advanced units, or the same units but they start to have the same kinds of perks that XCOM units have. So maybe their units get to shoot twice per turn, or their units get lightning reflexes, things like that. You can't reduce alien research in any active way other than sort of taking back bases, which is something we're not going to do for a long time. Mostly, alien research becomes a game of trying to disrupt alien missions. The more successful missions they run, the more research they gain. But this also includes UFOs that they're launching in countries that we don't have satellites with which to see. So right now, passively, and for largely the first year of the campaign, the aliens are going to be getting a bunch of additional research just because we can't respond to UFOs that we don't even know exist. The good news is that the aliens start their bonus research, I believe, at -90. It might be somewhat lower, -100, -120, I have no idea, in classic mode. So until that bonus research hits 0, it doesn't do any detriment to them. You don't take their number and subtract 90. It essentially takes 0 or whatever the highest number is of alien research. So we don't need to worry about it too much, and alien research only really starts to become a problem if we're doing badly and letting things snowball a little bit. Separate to that is the concept of XCOM threat, which is derived from how many bases have we assaulted and how many UFOs have we shot down. And the aliens, regardless of the resources, will launch different mission types based on how big of a threat they see XCOM as. Right now, they don't even know that we exist. We failed to shoot down any UFOs, we've disrupted a couple of abductions, but by and large, who cares? So the aliens right now see XCOM as not a threat at all, and will proceed with their invasion plans as if there was no XCOM. And honestly, there really isn't an XCOM for all intents and purposes right now. So we will not be expanding to South America anytime soon because we've lost one of the two countries. But honestly, as far as continental bonuses go, I'd actually rather lose Brazil than some other places. This is fine. All right, so we have our first UFO of the campaign. The one that we're building, interceptor-wise, has not finished out yet. So we're going to launch one of these four, hopefully no more than one. A lot of this becomes sort of RNG on aggressive. This will give us the greatest chance to hit, but it will also give us the greatest chance to be hit. The reason why I'm willing to make that trade-off, you'll see in a moment. So we only have about 7 seconds. 7 seconds to intercept this UFO. If we fail to, it just goes away. Shoot. All right, so he's going to start trying to run away. Well, run away now. We might not be able to catch him. We will do our best. Come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go. All right, it should only take one more hit to down him. There it is. All right, so not a great first intercept, but at least this interceptor didn't take any damage, meaning that we've got 3 interceptors to respond to any UFOs in the next 2 days, and we'll have a full 4 interceptors to respond to anything that happens thereafter. Everybody's very happy they shot down a UFO, but don't get too happy, guys. You're going to see hundreds of them over the course of the campaign. So now we get to go and try and capture this UFO. And this is the other reason why we built another interceptor. This guy that failed his first intercept is out for the rest of the month. He's also out for a good portion of April. So let's see what kind of crash site we have. So we have a standard UFO crashed in the middle of a deserted forest, which is my favorite kind of map because it has good sight lines typically. This will require, if we have one available, a scout, which we don't. We don't have any gunners. Yuck. I've done a poor job with my early allocation of promotions. So we're going to actually wait 16 hours until Lost and Delusional is ready to go. You can see on each mission type, there's a time in which you can respond to it. UFO crash sites, you got a day and a half to respond. So we're going to let this tick down to 19 hours. Yeah, whatever. And other missions can happen while I'm letting this happen too. All right, so now we've got this UFO crash site that I can bring an assault on, who will help us out a little bit. So he will carry our remaining motion tracker. We'll bring the Lone Badger as a sniper. Always good to have a high-level sniper, or high-ish level sniper, I suppose, with a smoke grenade and a flashbang grenade. And then we're going to bring 4 rookies. However, we are now far enough into the month that I don't want to bring SMGs because the aliens should have a research bonus by now. They might not quite have it in classic mode, I'm not sure. But I'm really not willing to take that chance. So everybody's going to come with 2 AP grenades, but they're also going to be taking an assault rifle because the research bonus that sectoids get gives them an additional 1 hit point. And that will make the difference between getting shot and having a good chance to die to an SMG versus getting shot and kind of shrugging it off versus an SMG. We will still be using the tactical vest though. And KW0134 gets his first mission. So this is the group we're going to try and capture our first UFO with, but we will do that next time.